Hey there farmers, hope you're all doing well. Today, with just 50 euros, we're going to create this awesome raised garden bed, all using recycled materials, and later I'll show you what I'm growing. For more than 10 years, I've been telling you how to make a garden together. I hope our community keeps growing, but most of all becomes even stronger, and that you can be the main character. To do this, I ask you to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, but most importantly, comment below. If you have any questions, there's always someone who can help you and give you an answer. And you too can be like an older brother to those who are just starting to grow together. Years ago, I started with the idea of using these tubs, cut and adapted a bit like this, to wash. The vegetables are filled well with water. Here I do the first cleaning, especially when I come to harvest the vegetables. See, I take these, move them and wash them. Today we're going to repurpose one of these that I don't need to make our raised garden bed. Come with me, I'm armed with a hoe. Let's go get a bit of wood chips because otherwise we would use too much soil. So we're going to use a bit of what we have saved up. By the way, we're going to grow some strawberries. So the wood chips will help create a bit of an undergrowth effect, a bit acidic, which I really like. Look, this here is the resulting wood chips come here from the chipping I did in previous years. It smells like an undergrowth, an amazing undergrowth. By now it's a mix between soil and wood chips. That's perfect for me to create the strawberry garden. We're going to add it very lightly. As you can see, it's really very light. There are a few twigs here and there, but we don't care about that. Let's go, first load ready. Come with me, I'm going to reuse a bag. These jerry cans, I'm using them as feeders for the animals. I'm really using them in 1,000 different ways. Now, if you buy them new, they really cost a lot. Because, as you saw, we are going to create a basin, so we can get either the top or the bottom. The important thing is that one of the two isn't punctured. By doing this, you can bring them home for a price. The empty ones, of course, for a maximum of 30 to 40 euros. In most cases, you'll see they'll give them to you for free. Now let's assemble our tank, put down some unneeded wood chips, and I'll show you. Come here. I told you about my new company. It's called Portissimo. We make coffee in compostable capsules and we give you the coffee for free. Portissimo stands out because the coffee is hassle-free, no commitments. The coffee machine, the coffee, we send it to you within 48 hours at most, totally compostable coffee. If the coffee machine, which is the gift, breaks down, we'll take care of it. No problem. In 48 hours, we'll send you another one. No commitments. You don't have to buy a certain amount, no minimum, hassle-free. By the way, there are also herbal teas and fully leaf tea. I'll leave my personal code for you below, so you'll get a lifetime 10% discount on all products. Very short, let's have this coffee together and get back to work. This is the containment tray for our big tanks, for our canister. If you want to see, each canister has these supports underneath. Usually you'll find them at the base. They naturally prevent the canister from falling. I've raised them to the most comfortable height for you. So, what do I do next? Since it's going to support quite a bit of weight, I'm going to put a plywood support that I had left over. If you want to spend less money, I suggest you get a pallet, remove the boards, and use them to set up this garden. We have to do it at the lowest cost. Remember, we set a budget of 50 euros maximum. We put some wood underneath, but we want it to last over time. We don't want it to rot. So I got a tarp. See, this is also a gift I had. You can also take the trash bags and we'll place them at the bottom so that the plastic isn't in contact with our plywood. I've been using these tubs filled with water for about 3 years. Look how nice they still are. That's because I take good care of them and I put the tarp in. We fold the tarp over itself so that it can't be seen from the outside. Voila, that's it. Now in our assembly, all that's left is to take our tub, as you can see, which we've cut, the bottom part and the top part, and go ahead and install it. The best thing is that the tub isn't damaged, of course. As you can see, it's just cheap plastic, but it works for what we need, especially in this case. Let's hold the faucet, which is this one, and position ourselves so that it can go down. Then let's close the faucet. Our tub is ready. We have the faucet that we can open and close. You see it for a very simple reason, because since it's outside, too much water might get in when it rains, and so we risk water stagnation. With this faucet, if we see there's too much water, we open it and let the water out slowly. If instead we want to keep the moisture in the soil, we close our faucet like this and the moisture will stay inside. Minimum expense, maximum yield. So, to recap, we said that we can choose tanks that are cracked, maybe on the top part. So imagine a cube, the top part is cracked, so they can no longer be used to fill with water. But since we're going to cut them anyway, we don't care. We can get them for free or at most for 30 euros, no more. We went to get some plywood to put at the base. If you can't find this plywood for free, just get a pallet and put a pallet underneath. It's the same effect. And we do the same for the protective sheet. Now all that's left is to go fill our tub. As you can see, the tub is bulging a little here, but don't worry, because once you put the soil in, the soil will hold it nicely pressed. I also want to show you something else. Switch over here so you can see it better. As you can see, this tub is starting to break. See, it's opening up. It can't hold water anymore. That doesn't matter since we'll use it for planting and pack the soil tightly here. Look, a vegetable garden like this, made this way, will last you at least 10 years because these plastics are really everlasting. A clever trick is to let the water drain if you want. Right at this spot, I suggest you go and put it. Either some gravel for the first 10 centimeters or at least some gravel near this part so that the water drainage is made easier. Go ahead and use that faucet trick we discussed. Our wood chips have been placed. Now we've used wood chips that are already mature. You can see they're starting to decompose. You can see they're actually turning into nutrients. It was also full of earthworms and a bunch of other animals. But the wood chips aren't enough. Now we're going to add a nice layer of soil on top. Good, living soil, because we want to provide food. Wood chips like these need to be fertilized quite a bit. So we'll fertilize them and then mix them in. Now let's do it together. A tip, especially because we want to stay within that 50 euro budget, should I go get the wood chips? You can find it at a farm, you can find it from gardeners. Usually they give it to you for free because it's such a small amount, so it's a very small expense. You can go, if you pass by a farm, to fill it with mature manure, make sure it's mature. But you have to be careful to mix that manure you use instead of wood chips with some wood chips. Exactly because it's too dense with substances, because it's too dense with nutrients. Or here's a little tip so you don't spend anything. There are a lot of recycling centers in several towns that give away compost for free because it's the result of the decomposition of all the compostable material collected through separate waste collection. Usually you get a pretty significant amount of compost from them. You can contact the same municipality at zero cost, so we stay within 50 euros. This is 80 liters of compost, which should be enough for us. Okay, this garden is also very convenient because it's raised, so we don't have to bend down or stoop. It's nice, but be careful. I'm 2 meters tall. This is 1 cubic meter, so it's already 1 meter high. If you grow tomatoes and want them to reach 2 meters, they'll end up being 3 meters high. So maybe when you're growing things, you can plant strawberries, you can grow zucchini, you can put flowers or aromatic herbs, basically anything that grows up to 50 centimeters or at most 1 meter. Otherwise, after that, it becomes 2 meters high, so it gets a bit challenging. Now, if you look at the result, it might seem finished, but let's take a good look at it. It's a big piece of plastic and it's ugly aesthetically. Someone might say to me, Matt, I'll just paint it all black and it'll be fine. Don't do it. That's because black tends to absorb sunlight, and so we'll end up burning everything inside. So now I'll show you a solution that solves the problem. It makes it beautiful. I went and got these little sticks to make it really, really nice. You'll see that the final effect will be unique. Never leave plastics in the environment. The height should be 1 meter, but of course we'll keep it a little higher off the ground. Of course, this one is 3 meters. I got 2 because it's 4 cubic meters, so it's a bit wider. These can also be stretched a little. Now that we've positioned them, let's tie them up. You have to grab it where the metal is, see here, pass it behind, and we'll tie it, then we'll tighten it and secure it. Better, voila, so that the effect isn't too obvious. Also, let's try to keep it a bit higher, because if they touch the ground too much, they'll rot, they'll break, so it's better to lift them up. Good. Once we've secured the top, we secure the bottom and lock it in place. You see, everyone has their own preferences. I liked it to be just a little bit higher. You can trim it however you like, and if you want to cut the grass, just make sure you can access it with a brush cutter or your tool of choice. Everyone handles their yard's look as they wish. Let's wrap it up. And this, come take a look at how nice it is the little effect. Look, our whole garden is here. Now we can put in whatever we want. You can use the same technique to make a composter at home. So you put in all the compostable stuff except bones, and you always have to put them on top of soil or new compost. It's not that convenient, but it can be a solution. In my opinion, this is the best solution because for less than 50 euros, look at the nice effect you get behind you. I'm not putting it up now since I'll lean it against the wall and don't need it. Look how nice, cute, portable, because after all, we can carry it a bit more easily. You know what we could do, which is something extra to the metal mesh? Put 4 wheels underneath so you can move it wherever you want. And then, it could be a nice idea because by adding some sticks, we can turn it into a greenhouse. In short, there are many uses for it. Now I'd say let's go transplant our strawberries. So this here is my raised garden bed. Come, I'll show you what I've transplanted. I went and transplanted, you see all my strawberries. This here will be a real little strawberry patch. Keep in mind that from this little strawberry patch, we could even harvest 50 or 60 kilos. And not just for 1 year, but for 3 years in a row as well. We could cover it, as I said before, with non-woven fabric, TNT or something similar. We could set up a small greenhouse so we can extend and start the production earlier. That way we start eating strawberries from mid-March until mid-October. That's awesome. That's awesome. I'm really happy. Look, we spent almost nothing. Look at the result. It's beautiful. Anyone can do it. If you prefer keeping the canes a bit lower, it's perfectly fine. Personally, I like the look of not seeing the frame on top and having the bottom a bit more accessible. But each of you can customize your own garden however you like. Farmer, I hope you enjoyed this video. See you in the next one. And remember to give it a like, comment below, and subscribe to the channel. Bye, everyone.